Three, two, one.
Light them up.
I'm Paul.
This is Buck.
This is the Paul and Buck Show.
Hey, the big Buckin deal. Hear us. Download the latest app at paulandbuckshow.podbean.com. Okay, guys, we're back. We have
Hey,
we got Paul, got Buck, Paul and Buck Show, big Buckin deal. So just kind of go over a couple things. We have some guests today, but we're gonna just talk about things in general, things that happened in the past week.
There's a lot going on, man. There's a lot of races.
So we had a lot of things going on. So last week we did miss an episode because I've been tied up on this project I'm doing. We'll talk about more of that later.
Yeah, my birthday is very important.
So yeah, I got. I'm just been. I've been
skip on that.
I've been pretty jammed on that. So but
Pizza.
Yeah, there's a lot of things been going on. So
yeah.
There's some bits of racing. There was some good racing.
We had the 25th. There was the 26th.
Well, yeah.
So the 25th was the Vintage Drags, and the 26th was the no prep top end.
The top end race. With,
and then prior to that, there was also Big Sleepy's. What was that? Top Gun.
But that's right. That was the middle of March. So yeah, we did miss that. Yeah. So had that. That was a Big Sleepy race. That was
right.
It was a pretty good turnout.
So these are some cool turnouts that have been popping up, and then of course he's got the picnic that he does. Well, that's the nice one.
Yeah, that's the picnic. Yeah. You got to race your way into that. That's an invitational.
Right.
So apparently you got to run some races. So he's having another race on April the 8th, which is they're having a Top Gun class.
Prep surface, right?
It's all prep. It's all prepped, and then they have an index stuff. But so. And again, I'm not too deep in it, so like I said, we need to get some clarification. So hint,
bring them on, y'all guys.
Kenneth and the alias of Mr. Clark.
Boogie's top 5.
Boogie's top 5.
Yeah.
So we just anyway. So to kind of go on top of that, right? So that they are having the picnic, and again, that's like an invitational, but you gotta make some events.
Right.
So, but it is a prepped event, and it's a no time.
So let's talk about how it all started at the beginning, from the beginning of this year. These new events started popping up at Little River. It's all small
been the
tire.
past couple of years.
It's small tire now. It's more small tire. It's more of an entry levels. They came up with.
Well, that's what the Top Dog is, right? So that's they made a class to, I guess.
Top Dog or Top Gun?
Top Gun, sorry,
okay,
Top Gun. So to P's to like not like a higher level, little hitter or JB little hitter, right? You don't have to run sub 4s or sub 5s.
Little hitters is sub 5.
It's a cap race, but like I said, it can be anywhere 5.0, 490, 480.
Slick, drag radial, both. What?
Either.
Wow.
It's just a small tire.
Okay.
And again, that's the thing we need clarity. I don't know if it's a 29.5,
right,
or if it's a 28. I don't know. Like I said, I don't keep up with a lot of that, but some clarification would. I know Thomas and David Stidham and Jay, they touched on some things.
Right,
but,
they did.
And but there's a little bit more to it.
Right.
Because it's just not like Well, I take this back. So you can't have like full blown out, run out the back door. You can. That's what the name of the game is. But you can't have a car that's going to blow the doors off, right? So they're keeping it down to a level where it's, more of a, more competitors will come out and race, right? So they have a car it can fit in.
Okay.
So that's, a 490 is comfortable now, right?
Right.
So 5.0, so everybody can fit in that class. And then they made the Top Gun to where you can, I guess like a 550, right?
Does the cap off slower?
No. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know what the cap is. But that's the level. That's the where they're at.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to kind of just
550, 520, 530, right?
Touch lightly on what these new events.
But from what I understand, it's selected. You
right.
If you go out there and you smoke somebody and then you're out of that Top Gun category, I guess.
Yeah. So I went to that first entry class that they were going to have, which was Tomato was putting on. Tomato. What's up, dude?
Right.
He started out with, and this had never been heard before. At first, you could even take it as an insult, like, don't call my car a slow car, but that's how they coined it.
So they got a slow car class, but it's a 650 class.
Yeah,
that's not slow.
That's
I've heard that.
Yeah, and so to move on, and believe me, they have little gadgets that will
The
draggies.
draggies.
They will monitor your car. They have video cameras mounted on your car, so that if you lift or whatever, however the rules go, man, they can catch it. And it was pretty damn accurate when I saw that. I'm like, wow, man, you really can't bitch, man. I mean, if you're too fast, you
get the boot.
Yeah. So you get out of slow car. So you got to move up to which was the small tire. It was just small tire.
Yeah,
right?
small tire.
So traditionally they got small tire, then they did slow class, and then they had slow class. Stick shift.
Daily, yeah, they had a street stick shift, and they had a daily.
Yeah, and then for the second event, he introduced a slower car class, because when I went to it, they even had mini bikes. I said, well, damn, man, I ain't got no car ready, but I got a bad mini bike that's my bike. So we took it, and we were up in the air, right? But I got to see how they were organizing it and how it has progressed, and I kind of keep up with it, keep touch with them. So the stick shift class, at first it didn't catch on. It was only like 3 cars when they were calling out the names, so it didn't go. So I guess they dumped them into the slow car class. But there was also a bunch of street cars that showed up that were like really street fast, but street. I'm thinking like 10.5s and slower. So he adjusted for the next event that just passed up, and he had the slower car class. And so I've been kind of keeping up with it. I can't keep up with all of it, but between me and him, me and Buck here, we try and figure out what the next phase is in drag racing in the 5112. Because you also have the vintage drag. I know Santa very well, and he's all about gassers. And so if you don't have a gas car that meets his rules, you're just not going to gas with him. You know what I mean? And so here on the 25th, you can clearly see how Whiteside and him were running. They're not slow cars. They made it look like they're easy, but these are like a modern vintage freaking Pro Mod, custom chassis car with this, so that's all different, but they kind of run almost similar with the rules. And so I thought I'd ask Buck. I said, hey man, so there's also the Top Gun that's aimed at the slower cars. Obviously Tamayo's class, they're aiming at the slower cars because people don't have that little hitter. Not everybody has the 10.5 car that runs, sub 5. And so anyway, so these classes are kind of progressing, over the last 3 months, I would say. And I've been paying more attention to Boogie because he keeps talking about the Top Gun. And so
and
it's interesting.
He's happening though, because like I said, it, because that's one thing that came out in the past 3 months, right? Was this class, and I think that one a couple weeks ago, it was, I want to say there was maybe about 8-9 cars. Yeah. And then
But it drew the same guys that I saw in Tamayo's there's a slow car class. They I saw some of those cars in there. Yeah. I'm like, wow. So I'm starting to see the old school crowd show up to these events and meet and greet, and haven't seen you in a while.
Well, that's the good thing about it, because like I said, you like I was just saying about. You don't have to have like a high dollar car, big motor to run like a 450, 460, 70 to go run these classes. Now they're getting a class where you can comfortably be and fives is when you're in the fives it was fast about 6 years ago, right? From 6 years ago or 5 years ago to now a 5.0 seems like that's just like that's a daily thing now, right? The 5.0s are something people run, but. So I mean, they're making it to where the guys who have the cars at home that are sitting with dust, like
just bring them out.
That you can say, hey, I don't have to, I
can't break that 6.5. We got a 6.5 class for you. Oh shit! Okay, I guess I'm bringing fajitas and sausage. Who else is coming? Exactly. Fuck the game. We're going.
So yeah, that's exactly right. So it's bringing the people. Say, hey, let's get the guys back out. Yeah. So I mean, which. I like it because, just like, bracket, that's still there, but, the heads up stuff, that's, or I should say class racing, the class racing that was around, it's dead, right? Index is there. Right. To me, that's not a heads up race because you're not going wide, you're index racing, but anyway, so.
Now, Tamayo's goes completely against index. Yeah. Their deal is, A to B, and your car has to be no faster than that number.
Yeah. So in a way that is index racing, but it is, but to a point on the no prep surface, that's where the equalizer comes.
And it's at the end of the track, so
it's on the top end, right?
So it's a whole different.
So that's a whole different bar game. So that's the thing where it's different. This index in a way, but it's different.
Have y'all been to one of those?
I've watched it just like on a live feed.
Yeah.
Well, I did too for like the last 2 years, right? When we went out there, man, it's at the end of the track, so you can't just jump over the fence. You know, if you can't jump over the fence, man, hey, you're on your own, bro. You know, just your shit turns off, man. You know, start it back up. But you know, so and then you've got those who just down the line and you know doing whatever they're doing behind the cars, and then they've got a toggle switch for a tree. And so they line you up just like you see
like
it.
an instant.
It's they just light you up and boom, you're gone. And it's a road, man. It's not. I mean, you can look at the back of the track and you're like, damn, it's dead at the damn tower. Everybody's halfway at the track, and you know. And you're at the fence like shit, go! And you're just kind of looking like a damn duck, you know, in the camera. You know, it's fun.
Asphalt. It's asphalt. So, I mean, you know, people get down and you see the white smoke, right? You people.
Some of the old school people even ask, like, how the fuck are y'all slowing down, racing at the end of the track? These cars are 5-second cars, 490 cars.
Yeah, they're at least in the sixes. I mean, there may be a high.
They're stopping though. They're covering it. I mean, it didn't look, you know.
They go right past with the time tower to the quarter mile.
Yeah, they even had little bleachers right there. You can sit and watch them.
That's where they're running to, and they're running back the back door, right?
So it's interesting for sure to go check out these races, but it ain't gonna be like one of the traditional index classes, man. It's more street people there than.
Well, I give it to him too, right? Because they had that, and then he had like a cook-off.
Dude, since it was Sunday, he says, you know what, we're gonna have
I give him that, man.
Baby back ribs cook-off.
Yeah, a rib cook-off.
So that left with people like, well, I don't have my car, but I'll cook some goddamn baby back ribs, and, you know. So he added that shit, and I'm like, wow, man.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I give him that.
It drew the crowd. I mean, I definitely left me with them. I don't know, my fat ass. Who won? I want not my name.
So
you selling?
So the nostalgia drags was a good turnout. And then so
Whiteside came out
Blake
with his
over there.
car.
He took his class. He won his class.
Did you?
Yeah, I got runner up in a street class.
Street class. So
the vintage drags.
Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah, Saturday.
What your truck?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
The blue C10.
So I mean, like I said, it brings out everybody. That was always a big race back when I was remember.
Yeah, Santa did a surprise right before the event. He says, we're going to do a match race with Whiteside's car, and Whiteside, last time
did Whiteside ever have some passes on his car?
No,
it was fresh.
It was fresh. Actually, I have a Falcon. I had 2 of them, and he took the hardtop because he needed some parts. And his car was just a shell with no windows, no floors, and it had the motor in it. And man, then he caught fire when he was welding.
Oh yeah, he got an accident.
So that held him back, but he stepped back forward. He jumped back from that, and he started putting his car together. And shit, he had roll-up windows and everything on the car. I'm like, damn, the car's ready to go. So anyway, they posted some quick videos. I'm actually the admin for their page, and I couldn't go to it. But somebody took some good video, and that little Falcon. I mean, Ronnie's car is still really fast for a little 331 4-speed car. It's really lightweight. It's like 2,800 pounds or something like that. The little thing just all motor. I think he's
they're in the 990s. Yeah, they're 90s.
So it's doing something. So it was a good match race, and then of course, you guys were there, so y'all saw the rest of the event. It's always a vintage, and then of course, then it rolled over to the Sunday, where all the old crowd has to go to sleep early, and the young bucks they're like, let's do top end. What sleep? Fuck y'all.
That's the thing about the nostalgia race. It starts early, so it ends early. So that's good. Instead of starting like at 4 o'clock at night, 4 or 5 in the evening, like maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So, anything else that we're missing?
Man, there's just that. We've got some. On top of that, there was also Top Notch Burgers right down the goddamn street. We couldn't even enter. We tried. I was like, I'll take some photos real quick.
So it's funny. I was just gonna mention that. So there was a picture there that I seen. That
I wasn't in it, was I? Shit.
No, that look familiar?
Oh yeah, that's right. They were talking about that.
That's the Thunderbolts.
Who was going to use it? Yeah.
That's the Thunderbolts car.
Yeah.
They got it on the top-notch flyer there.
Put it on the video. Put it on the camera so they can see it. If you can see it.
I can see. I'll have to put a picture up there.
Okay.
We'll show it. But anyway, so Top Notch open. That was I actually went a couple times already.
Did you get in the line? Because the line was long, man. We tried going in even like on Tuesday
We
or
went there Thursday and we waited for about 5 minutes. I mean, there was a line out the door, but it goes fast. I mean, it ain't long. And then I went back Saturday, and there was a line out the door about 15 minutes. So it ain't
Oh,
bad.
okay, so they're
It's not. It may seem like it's crowded. Sometimes when we were there eating, then I seen a line wrapped around the other building, so I was like, "Whoa, we got here just in time." But,
So everybody
it can be
always
busy.
associates the Top Notch with the movie
Dazed and confused.
Dazed and Confused, but really, Top Notch Burgers goes back
71.
to well, I mean they've always been there on Bartlett Road, and but the whole setting inside, it's a dark setting with a little candle, you know, in the middle, and you're like, damn, is that you? You know, you're eating oh shit, this ain't my burger. You know, it's that dark. You know, there used to be a place called the Holiday House on Barton Springs Road back in the 60s and 70s, and so there's a lot of memories with a bunch of high school people out there in Austin. I was a kid in the 80s, man, and on Sundays we'd go out to eat, either in the afternoon after church or nighttime. They had alligators, right there in the front.
Oh, I heard about that place.
And so there's all kinds of stories of, high school, they had to always pull pranks, man. So they were always jacking with them alligators. So they finally got rid of them. So, but the setting was at the Holiday House. It was that dark setting. And I do remember it because, you go order your tea and, you're like, God damn, that window is shit. This is too damn bright. You're sitting in there and you come out, you're like, damn, it's really 3 o'clock. You think it's nighttime. But anyway, so the setting has always been like that on Burnett Road. They talked about it on South Austin Memories on Facebook. And so people started going to it. And then, of course, Dazed and Confused came out. And then now Top Notch in Taylor. So I don't know. Is the setting like that? Is it? Yeah.
No, I mean, so the decor is like that.
It's
kinda,
still.
But I mean, but it's lit up. It ain't like the one on.
Yeah, they have a connection with the previous owners of what was called the Holiday House or something like that, loosely. I don't know. Don't quote me.
The gentleman there, he was there at Hutto the whole time, and he's one of the original, like a family of. He was just down here assisting, make sure everything was right, because it was popping.
Right.
And I mean, it's just like how I remember back when I went there. First time I went there was probably about. It might have been that 93, 94 when Dazed and Confused came out and was smashing. And I went like a couple years ago down in Berlin when they had like the car show on Saturday, and the food, man, it's still slamming. So it's still popping. It's still good. It's gonna be hitting. He said after the roundup, they're gonna have the monthly. They're gonna try to coordinate with the Austin to not be that same.
It's huge, man. The cars pack up in there. You're like, hey, let's go in. And you're just like, we're just driving around. And you can't go in,
dude. So and it's kick ass because they're gonna have in the back. It's nice, and it's got a nice stage, and it's got turf and green, and so from the front. Where they got the car hops thing, it's just a little walkway. You can just walk right back to it. So it's gonna be.
Yeah, we thought they were gonna have the the push button in order, but they don't have it active yet.
Yeah, it's not active yet, but I mean, but it will be. From what I.
Yeah. So if you don't want to get off, right next door is
they got the little.
The barbecue Southside Market.
Well, they got Southside, and there's supposed to be a Jalisco's. They're supposed to open right next to them. I don't know if that's kind of, but anyway, Southside. Anyway, so slamming Hutto. Saturday night, once a month, whenever that is, we'll probably announce it when it comes out.
Right, and of course, the Round Rock Car Show, I always hit that car or no car. I'm always there checking it out. So there's a bunch of cool stuff that's always happening, but specifically these races, like I said, they're changing, and Little River's actually hosting all of these events. So
So without further ado, right? So we have some guests today, some friends that we know. I've known them I've known them since you were a kid. I think you're probably crawling. I mean, that knows. Me and Buddy go back. I don't know how long. So anyway, let's go back again. Let's introduce. So we have
Brandon Bell,
Blake Bell,
Mr. Blake, and of course we got
Buddy
Bell.
So I only remember y'all's name because I kept drawing. shit, I misspelled it. Third grade education.
So to kind of go back on top of that, so Bells, they're from Bartlett. Bells Racing, they've been around racing a long time. I've known them for a long time. So first off, I'm gonna start with Buddy. So Buddy, just right off the top. So we ask everybody this. And I know the question part or the answer for you guys, but What was your first car that you can remember?
When did you get into racing?
When did you get into cars and racing in general?
What made you say, "Damn,
I want to know. I know, but I want to.
Look at that Volkswagen! God damn, I want to feel that." What got you going?
That was a 70 Chevelle.
70 Chevelle.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
I did.
We're already getting along.
Was that the baby blue one? Or the...
No, that was that gray one that I used to run around Taylor in back in the 80s.
So are you from Taylor? You grew up in Taylor? Where you from?
Bartlett.
Bartlett still?
Yeah,
Okay.
Bartlett, yeah, he's from Bartlett.
All right.
So, 70 Chevelle, that was your first car?
Well, as far as race
street
car,
race car,
yeah,
right.
hot rod. I don't know. It was set on. I believe I was working at 16 years old, working at the Gulf Station, in Bartlett.
When they still had shops you can work on.
Yeah, you
Ding,
broke
ding,
down
and
tires
roll.
and
Yeah.
gave gas, and this guy in Bartlett had this car sitting there beside the house. I don't know, years.
How much? You remember what you paid for it?
$500.
There you go.
Damn,
And
man,
you
that
know,
was acceptable. You
That
know?
was, and it didn't, it didn't run.
They have a 307?
Well, I tell you what, it had the old Luma slot wheels on it.
Yeah.
And this guy that used to do the upholstery there in Bartlett had done some work for him on it and had the diamond tucked interior in it. And so when we got it up to, when I found out he wanted to buy, if I could buy it, he wanted $500 for it. And of course back then, he didn't have $500. He was getting paid.
500 still took.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Sweat.
Yeah.
And we got it started. There was no throttle. There was a rod coming out the hood of the cow with a string tied to it.
That's it.
And so I had to take my hand and just ease it home like that.
Is that right?
Oh, it was terrible. When I brought it home, it was terrible, yeah.
Oh, man.
Ever since then, yeah, but that car made a hot rod of it, and that's when you come to Taylor on a Friday night.
Yeah,
You make a drag down through Taylor.
I remember.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know.
There was a lot of
There was
people.
always you go cruise. It was like American Graffiti, right?
Right,
You
right,
go-
right.
We're gonna go cruise the circuit, right?
Oh,
there was a
shit.
drag in Taylor, right?
Yeah.
You should make that drag, and you probably be there 5 minutes. You're racing somebody. Somebody's gonna race you. Somebody wants to race you.
Our American Graffiti was freaking 6th Street. You could drive on.
Yeah.
But see, when these guys from the outer skirts out here, you guys from north, y'all show up on 6th Street, it's like, oh shit, here's a real car. Because that exhaust was echo the shit out of the buildings, man. And, so you just turn off the radio, man. It's just, he's got nitrous, smell out the window, man. He's going to let something out. So it was always cool as shit, man, to see the north come in.
So yeah,
battle the south.
so you used to come cruise Taylor or anywhere, right? So you cruise a car around, but so I mean you were hitting the streets pretty hard, right? You started pepping it, you started racing it, right?
Yeah, it's just one of those things, you just you could drag through Taylor, make one
Yeah.
drag through Lake Drive, and by the time you come back around second and come down Main, somebody knew you were in town.
Yeah.
I met a lot of good friends here. That's where I met Buck and all good
You
people.
probably met all like the Hazelmeyers and
Ricky, all the Joneses, and
Joneses.
Bachmeyer, Ricky
Right.
Bachmeyer, and because Ricky Bachmeyer wanted to race everybody. So, do you ever? I can go in, but there was a guy that used to drive that yellow love around.
Mark
Decker.
Yeah.
So yeah, I knew. Yeah, he was like. Now that truck was quick. I mean, it was a little love, of course. It had a V8. You put a little lawnmower motor in the damn love, and it'd be fast. But yeah, so. And going back at that time, right? So you run around Taylor. I knew of you. We heard of you. I don't think I ever ran you, but because when I was putting around that old brown truck, but there was always because you and Zabronic. I'm gonna bring up Joe's name. I used to run around, right? But I don't think Joe ever run around and did any. Would come to Taylor.
Were you like the Bob Falfa? You were always like,
I
I'm gonna
was
take him down. We got a new one, I'm gonna take him down. Shit, got that truck all jacked up with freaking.
No, I was the one that always had the smallest motor out of everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody had I wasn't. I mean, my truck wasn't fast. I mean, but I would run you. I didn't give a shit who you were. I would run anybody.
Right.
It wasn't fast, but anyway. So with that car, how long did you have that car?
I had it up till Brandon was born, and that was in 90, 2000? That's 90.
You were born in
Had it-
90.
That's right.
So-
I've had it, I had it ever through high school and married. And
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, that you start getting older, start having kids. Yeah, you got
Was there a time where you stopped the car thing for a little bit and then kicked it back up, or you always been in it,
I've always
dragging
been-
him along in the back, or
I guess I've always been in it. You
Yeah.
know, I didn't want to. I don't know. It came, I guess, a while there, and I ended up selling it.
I
sold
remember the Chevelle, and then I remember I think you had another one. Then you had a Camaro. You had the
I used to
previous
race
Camaro.
I raced both of them. Raced the Chevelle down at Little River. I had that old Standard in there, which is.
Did you have the tunnel ram on there too? Did you have a tunnel ram on there?
No, it had that big old snorkel.
Oh, snorkel, okay.
Yeah, with that 4-speed in there.
with the
Yep,
snorkel. When did you first? Hey, that was cool back then.
A set of Kragers, 50s
Yeah.
out the back, and the 4-speed and the snorkel, man. You imagine going
You talking about
through
that snorkel, the one that's
That scoop
thin and then
stuff.
pops up? I had one, man. I put it on my Chevelle. God damn, that shit's too big. I took it right back off. Like,
Imagine going through the beverage barn at that.
it was crazy, man. I'm like, damn.
Where did that go there?
It looked good in the Hatware magazines, but
Had some had the Kragers with some Pro Tracks,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I had Mickey Thompson
some dog bone.
Pro Sportsman, whatever the other word. It sucked ass. It didn't even hook. So when's the first time you went to Little River, the track, and got used to the tree and all that stuff?
I was with that Chevelle.
With that Chevelle?
Yeah, with that Chevelle.
You were in high school then, probably.
I was still in high school, yeah. That's back when we run on Sunday. When they started racing. Back then, they raced on Sunday, starting at lunch. There wasn't no
Yeah.
deal where
bracket
it was,
is all bracket.
and you could run street or you could run, time. But there wasn't no such thing as the track being too hot back then. Or at lunchtime it started.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, the first time I went out there, it was like 1991, 90. It was always Friday nights.
Yeah.
And like Tobar said, man, you just wanted to come back with that shoe polish number, all the way back down to Charles Austin. There's my number, punks. I want to run. Yeah, you hope it will never come off until the next Friday outing. So that was us going to go race out there, but yeah, prior to the '80s, that's a whole different crew of racers. And Little River was run differently also.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like for example, I didn't know that it was run on Sundays. I
Yes.
thought Friday was.
That was always the thing when I remember as a kid going the first time. It was always like there was nothing on Saturday. Saturday racing didn't come on to like probably about 91. And they started doing the streets. And it was a street race, street meets. Yeah. But before that, it was all just Sunday bracket. That's when you went and ran, and that's what I always remember going as a kid was on Sunday. So, and you're right, it was run differently because, like I said, it didn't matter what time of the day you were. You're gonna run if the track's hot. Let's go time. And Stanley ran a tight shift. Stanley didn't give a damn. You're gonna run. You're gonna run.
Yeah.
If you're not down bottom of the hill,
Right.
you're disqualified. Right?
And who's running the fuel? Buddy, he was running
No, the fuel was Buddy Borg
Buddy
had his
Borg.
own. He
When
had
did
his,
he
he, had
start?
his, he had his thing there, but no, I think it was just Buddy because they didn't have a fuel.
Yeah, he was a die-hard drag racer from the 50s all
Buddy
the way
Board.
on.
Yeah, sold the Hal Racing
yeah,
Field.
Buddy. That's right. Buddy was the one that was selling the fuel down there, and had the slant six going hard.
Yeah, I have a photo of his car. It was a '57 Ford, white walls, slicks. White steelies and slicks, and he was in Victoria. So he didn't always have a 600. He used to run some
Yes.
with the old school, and so I found those photos of him, and I'm like, damn, that's the guy that's been at Little River this whole time. I thought,
He was
but
a good guy.
he was a.
Yeah, Buddy was a
He
salesman.
put you on
man.
your ass, back in the day, if you raced him.
Buddy was a salesman because you might not be looking for fuel, but he's gonna come. Hey, you need some fuel? You need some fuel?
I need to make my money. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But you were guaranteed to wear one of those purple Hal Racing. Those,
Didn't he have
he
like
sold
a,
Hal race fuel.
yeah, his car was yellow, right? The dark
yellow, white. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
I don't remember seeing some purple,
People,
But yeah, he always had the
purple shirts.
the purple shirts.
Had
And there was like a blue one, but the purple one was everybody had the purple shirt. The purple with Hal Racing Fuel. Yeah, Buddy. I think you're right. He was the only one. They didn't have like a fuel cabinet or table or area where they sold there like they do now. It was just Buddy was just basically out of his truck and he was running selling fuel. That's what I always remember too about running at Little River on Sundays. But so from that Chevelle, you had a couple of cars. You had a Camaro. Brandon, he was growing up. Brandon's following your footsteps. So
Yeah.
Blake, following your footsteps. So, but going from then to now, what do you see racing? I mean, do you see racing different? Obviously.
How have you made your car progress to keep up with the times? Obviously, a cast iron big block doesn't cut it today.
He's got a Pro Street Chevelle now, so he drives on the street.
That car is just it's not I don't race it. It's just drive it anywhere. But
Pro Street, yeah.
the one we race is the '67 and
The truck.
the S10. Yeah, the S10 it's got a small block 421. It's not a regular
Okay.
motor. I mean, it's custom built by Ohio Crankshaft.
Nice. So when did Bell Racing become a group? 'Cause obviously, it's always you first, and then you progress as you.
How long you been in the truck, Blake? How long you been racing?
I started when I was made my first hit right when I was 16.
How old are you now?
I'm 23.
There you go.
So I think it officially started right when all three of us.
He goes to sleep with
So that's
gear oil and some race fuel,
So,
right?
so when he was 16, that's when it officially came to Bell Racing.
Yeah,
It was
official.
already official.
That's a
for the
group
family.
now.
Yeah. So Brandon. So Brandon, same thing. 16.
16.
So 16 when you got to see. So how old are you now?
32.
Damn.
Yeah.
How did it start off, man? How did it start off when you were 16 and you're like, I need my license. I want to go race. What did you just start driving, or you went first to the track and raced and then started driving? How did it go for you? I mean, what were you itching? What was your itch
Before
there?
we got there, we had a 77 short wheelbase pickup. Bought it when I was 15. And it just had a small block, tunnel ram, single plane deal. Just a street truck. And
Yeah.
I happened to see that S10 on Craigslist. Had a stock 350 in it, small tire, just a plain truck, and so we called that guy up, and he come down, and he was looking at the truck, talking about trading, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, he left out of the driveway and smoked them tires, and was like, yeah, we gotta have that one. He was like, I want to go faster, and way to do it is get something lighter, So
Right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm experiencing that for the first time with my kid. There's 16, Dylan's 18, but Mr. gonna be 16. He's already, Dad. When are we gonna put the heads and the cam in there, Dad? Can I need that other rear end in the car, and I'm like, dude, just slow down, man. You just got, I don't want you to slam into a wall, man. Can you at least get on a bicycle first, right?
Right.
So I understand, what the itch is in our world. When I was 16, I got my license taken away, so we'll talk about that later. But for you, so that's how you got into it, and you go to the track, or you just street racing? What are you doing?
It was just a stock truck, like I said, and then we had an electric fuel pump on it that was louder than the whole truck. Anyways, we just started street racing on it. Went to the track. I think it ran like a 16 something, a quarter.
Yeah. But you were lit up though, huh? You're like,
Yeah,
man,
I was like,
I'm
let's go faster. So we put one of the little cams in it and little intake carburetor, and
Yeah.
I dropped a little bit, and we come back and ended up, it didn't have a posit track in it either. So it just had that 10 bolt.
Damn.
So we welded the rear end up
There you
in
go.
it.
I was gonna make a joke there, but it's for real.
No,
It does happen.
Yeah, 1390s. Roll it down.
Timbo rolling.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how it started, man. Just progressed from there. Hey, I want to go faster, and just buy this, do this.
Lower it. Yeah, lower it. No, raise it back up. No, lower it. Okay, that one side.
Yeah.
So was it a coil spring truck, or what year was that one?
It was a 91.
Oh, okay.
These
Leaf
springs
spring,
on.
okay.
Yeah.
And then then Jay got a hold of it. Jay pretty much back tapped it. So
Okay.
yeah. So I remember coming out. I remember all the because back then we used to live at the track. That was all we like to do, right? But
Yeah.
things
Yeah,
changed.
y'all had a track so close to y'all, man. We did not. We wake up and we're like, damn, man, you think we can survive 50 miles an hour? You think we can, 35 might be a little hectic. You think we can do it? I think the converter will survive. Get there, shit's boiling, you can hear it sizzle. You gotta wait. That's our life back there.
So like ever since like 91 when they started street racing, then that it was like every 2 weeks, twice a month, it was a 55. We're racing, and then when they got the car running, it was shit. We raced it all the time. So it was the thing. Street racing was big. That's what a lot of us built the car to go around was that street, right? It had to be street legal, had to have inspection and insurance, blah blah blah. So, but that changed, and that's why I talked about it before. That's why when that street class started to fade away and it started going to shit nothing. Well, that's why I created the car club. Right. I mean that was basically it for like, true street car, blah blah, all that good stuff. So in on top of that, that's where a lot of people who race that we know. That's where you met them at.
Yeah, you brought them together, and that's when the internet was also coming up real good, and that's when I ran into because street racing, all the street stuff, it kind of died out. So we're like, man, where's everybody at? And so first thing is, I see him and his page, and I'm like, damn, there's a whole new set of cars that are now, but they weren't from my side of town. They were all from your area, and I'm like, wow, these are also badass freaking rides, and they're pretty damn quick,
And then so on top of that, so like with Brandon and Blake, and the street is where you started for all of us. We all started on the street, and then we went to the street nights, and then even for me at the time, there was a point where there was nothing going on, so you had to go bracket race. Right. So that's where so we went bracket.
That's when you run. That's when you run into the seniors that are like fast. Yeah. You're like, damn, I don't have shit.
That's where you learn. You learn from those guys, and then you get beat, and then you get beat, and then you win. Yeah. Get beat. So you raced each other. So and then so then there was bracket, and then index and heads up started popping up. Yes. Right. The true 10-5 stuff. So that's. But from the beginning, it's like it's went from the street to bracket, to heads up, and then if you're still bracket racing, bracket racing still brings out a lot of cars. Like I said a couple weeks ago, there were
64
cars bracket racing, so it's still there. So that's is it a niche for everybody? Yeah, maybe not. Maybe people don't like it. I mean, that's where we started from. That's because when you win a street race, that's what it was. It was bracket. Yes, it was bracket racing. So, but. To kind of where I was going is that, even if you're street, because like I said, my criteria is like, hey, street appearance, at least have a stock dash, anything back, your door jammed back, I don't care, street look, right? Yes. So Brandon's been, his club, and got you. I have your trucks on the car shop. I haven't updated in fucking 6 years, but that's my
still fault. Looks good every time you click on it, man. You're still like, wow, these cars.
Yeah,
are still,
like I said. So I mean, anyway. The point being is like, these guys been around street. If you bracket race tonight, all of them guys. He drives this to the car. He drives this to he could drive it on the street. Brandon, I'm sure you probably could if you really wanted to, but you don't have to. Like mine, I choose not to.
Well, you don't want to waste it.
Some of that gas. That gas, just like your pump gas, the racing gas goes up too. So, but anyway,
I had a buddy of mine, real quick. I had a buddy of mine who. He got a car with the 496 in it, but it was nasty. It had dart heads on it, and it was a street car, a bridge car. It came out of I think Houston or something, and this is about 10 years ago. And I said, "What are you gonna do with it, man?" He's like, "I don't know, man. I don't like the Camaro. It was a black 78 or something like that." He pulled it all out, put it in like a 70, and the mentality is more of a street. We got to go to a car show. It's always Friday night. You got to cruise somewhere. Right. This crazy friend of mine, you gonna drive it? Yeah, I'm gonna drive it. So what are you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna put gas. You gonna put race gas in it? Well, yeah, that's all it takes. It's got 14 to 1. I'm like, really? How far are you gonna drive it? Just from, it's like a 10-mile ride to our hangout. And so I'm standing there, and I remember I was talking to Joe White, and he's got his car. We're talking, this is a street car, old school dude. And I said, man, my buddy right there just showed up. I said, that thing's got 14 to 1. He starts laughing. How much did he pay for gas? I said, I know it's hurting his wallet. I don't know if he's going to do that ever again. Because, you're talking about a little dumb cruise like that. You're out, at least $100. It's like, dude, man.
No, easy. Yeah,
so anyway, that's why you don't pull your car out. That's probably why you don't want to pull yours. And Turbo is so friendly today. You know, they laugh at us. You know.
That's you know.
I hate y'all.
Well, like I said, you got E85 now. That's
Right.
That's where everything's going.
And Huddle has right here down the street,
Yeah.
VP gas station. And they sell the good E85. Do they sell race fuel there too? Can you buy race fuel?
They used to. They used to have it locked up. You could be like 110 and some 113 or something. They used to have it there. So yeah.
So the
I
benefits
think
of
they
him
do.
being there.
But yeah, so to kind of go back on
Yeah.
like with you now. So we're talking about your current car, right? What year Chevelle is that?
70.
That's a 72.
70,
Okay.
yeah.
So Pro Street.
Yes.
It is nice.
What's the drivetrain? Let everybody know.
Well, it's got 33s up under it, 15 by 15s, a little 671 blower on it.
What cubic inch motor?
It's a little small block. It's runs on pump gas. I don't tune the car. Brandon tunes it. Actually, Brandon tunes both the cars. But yeah, you can drive
Because your
it.
street rod has a supercharger on it too, right? Your rat rod.
Yeah,
Oh,
supercharger. You got 671 or 871 of those?
It's 671.
671. We can't fit an 871 on a small block, right? You have to
Oh, you can.
You can.
Uh,
Yeah.
get
It'd be
technical.
tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tight, but you can fit it in there.
So what do you prefer for a carburetor on a blower? Edelbrock's or the Steel Holly or
we run
fuel.
quick fuels.
Quick Fuels?
Yeah.
Quick Fuel has the draw throughs that they're supercharge friendly. They got the boost reference, power valve reference.
Yeah.
So quick. That's what everybody runs. I know.
Now,
I know Tovar. You know that's all he runs. So and Mr. Haverland. I know that's what he runs too. So quick fuels. That's the way to go. Edelbrocks are. It's a dying.
it's a dying carburetor.
It's
yeah.
a dying carburetor.
But I mean, we
Yeah.
a friend of mine, I had a 55, and same dude that I was just talking about, put his big block in it, and it was an 871. But he's like, no, take those carburetors out, put some metal blocks. And full exhaust, 3-inch, goes to the track. I think it was Pink's. And 308 gear, just 1120s, 1090s, all day long. And then drove back home. And so I was sold, man, like that piece of shit Edelbrock 750s. Wow. I love Edelbrock. If I ever get a blower.
Yeah.
But no, I like the look of a nice BG or
Yeah,
a nice.
the Edelbrocks, man, they're just the thing about it. They're
Anyway, they were probably good when they came out, but the evolution of the
Nah, there's just no
supercharged
place
carburetors,
for that today in race world. I mean, if you want to drive around all day long and go to a show, it's cool. But even fuel injection might be even cheaper. Because the last time I checked on it with a dumb Edelbrock, it was like $500-$600. You know, who the hell wants to buy
Yeah,
that?
they're expensive now.
They changed Blake's truck over to.
Yeah, he's running that fuel injection now.
Yeah.
Which one? Which kit you got?
I got the sniper.
Okay.
yeah.
And Brandon's wired all that in and
Yeah.
Yeah. It really woke that truck up though.
Well,
it's really nice.
He well, since he's been working for Holly, he's been fucking
I
goddamn
learned a lot, so,
EFI
yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, they do everything. So, but yeah, the snipers are. If you know what you're doing, because I get calls all the time that they're like, it comes down to operator error.
Right. Most of
If
the
you
time.
don't install it right,
It's gonna give you problems.
Yes.
so anyway.
If it's done right, it'll wake anything up. I mean, it just snappy, better startup, cold starts, So it is.
Yeah, I kind of realized
It's a world of difference. So.
with I had a carbureted, my tow truck, right? I was carbureted, and I'm used to waking up, it's 40 degrees in the morning. You turn it on, you just wait, shit, I gotta drop these dudes at school. I got 5, shit, man, gonna make it. Turn it on, you well, boom, go. Man, I had forgotten about all of that. I get in this truck and I'm like, pump, turn on, and then come on, goddammit, heater ain't going. 15 minutes going in, shit, we're late. You have to get a freaking time slip. Call in, get a note, you be tardy. No, you can be absent. Hate carburetors now, man.
The old choke,
Yeah.
hell.
Nah, man, choke don't work on these shits. Can't even find a choke kit no more, man. You just throw that shit in the way. So I asked him, say, hey, you still got that one you were selling, man?
Oh yeah.
No, I just got rid of it. Shit, nah, don't worry about it. I'll just get rid of it. Fuck it.
But EFIs, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But
when it comes down to EFI, then
Yeah.
you go buy 2 quick fuel carburetor. That's $2,000. I mean, easy. I mean, $2,000. So you put $2,000 and you can put $2,000 in the EFI system, but on top of other things. But
Yeah.
going from you guys racing, what do you guys like to do a lot of car shows?
Yeah.
So there's one this weekend.
Yes,
Is there one this weekend?
Yes, there's one
In Holland, right?
I saw that.
Okay.
Here we go.
Blah, blah,
What
blah,
does
blah, blah.
all that contain when you have the ones that go on up in Holland? Because I always get the invites to go up there and check it out. Hey, you want to come out there? I'm like, I don't really go up there, man. I still got that mentality. Like, oh, fuck, I don't want to drive away. It's like, dude, you got a family car. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So what do y'all do over there? Cause isn't it centered off at either a burger joint or something?
It's at the VFW, isn't it?
Or that.
SP.
SP, I'm
SP.
sure, yeah. So.
Okay.
I went to the one in the fall. I mean, it was about 50, 60 cars, I
Yeah,
guess, I think.
Yeah, I remember you went, yeah.
It's a small turnout, but it's a lot of people come around.
There's a lot of locals. I mean, it's good. You see a lot of people. I mean, and it brings. I think there was one in the fall. There was a guy from Austin. He trailered in his race car.
Oh, that was nice.
It
That
was
black,
that
black Dodge. Or,
Yeah.
Oh,
that,
yeah,
That Dart.
Demon or
Yeah,
something.
Dart or Demon. That was a really nice car.
Yeah, very
I'm-
beautiful.
So it brings some people out.
Well, me and Oscar, we're always chit chatting back and forth. And where you
Yeah,
going
I've
this
seen Oscar
weekend?
there. Oscar
Oscar
there.
goes, oh, Paul, I think I'm gonna go over to that show up there. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
And I showed him your cars. I said, yeah, I'm drawing these. I'm almost like, oh man, I hope you get me one of the shirts. I'm like, well, I can't tell nobody yet.
Yeah, so-
Yeah, it's still. I still can't. I still got some shirts and I can't tell nobody. And it's always, don't tell them until we have to.
Right.
So anyway, he goes to the show. He goes. And he calls me right back up. Hey, I'm out here so there's these cars. There's one. You're 29. Is that the one that you're the man? It's really nice. Hey, there's a lot of blower stuff. I was laughing. Yeah, but that's probably them.
Did Oscar sell his 56?
Yes, he did. He got rid of his car, man. He didn't. I met the guy. I walked up there and.
Sorry.
And so anyway,
I remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
Shit, I wouldn't
Did he
think-
take his car there that day?
He took his truck.
He took his
the
truck?
truck out there
Okay.
that day, but he didn't
Yeah.
take the 56. But
Yeah.
I was like, I heard about it. Like, man, really? Shit. Anyway.
Yeah, no, he got rid of it, but I don't know. So he didn't take it to the show, but he definitely
Yeah.
just went away with just
Yeah.
y'all. I mean, he had only seen it on the artwork, and to see the cars in real person, he's like, damn, man, those things are really freaking. They got blowers on there, I was like, yeah, I was really got blowers.
Yeah.
Look pretty good. So you do drive these cars ever with the blower? How do you have to do with the heat, man, in the summer? Because they do build up a little bit of heat.
Get hot
They like to
inside
surge. They like to surge
Yeah.
a little bit, and
Yeah, both
you know,
of them we got them. They're surging.
You never had one locked.
No, they-
Shit.
Yeah.
But no, they run good, really.
Yeah.
In the summer, I did some work on Dad's car not too long ago at my house in Temple, and drove it back, and it was I don't know 90-something, 95 degrees. Drove it, and that's about 35-minute drive, about 180 the whole way.
Oh, that's good. Dude,
Going down the road. So.
have you ever put them to the test at the Lone Star Roundup? Because that's right around the corner too, where they run on Congress, and it's on Saturday. I mean, it's an all day.
Is this Saturday or Friday night? You just Friday. No, it's
It's both.
Saturday,
It's both. But
yeah.
Saturday really.
That's where it floods
Where
in, yeah.
where American Graffiti really kicks in. I mean, it's like Harley Davidson weekend on downtown, and that's where you really put your car to the test when it overheats or not.
Yeah.
So
And typically what you do, you just cruise down, make a couple drags, and you go park it. I mean,
if you can find a parking
can
spot,
find a
you
spot.
see that gauge, you're like, fuck, I gotta park somewhere, and everybody,
Pull over somewhere.
you just stop. Yeah. Yeah, there's been instances where we're all, we pretty much know where to reserve, right? And we always know when there's a blower car coming in, because they come in and they do a little burnout, and then you're gonna get caught towards the end of Congress and Ben White. That's where it all backs up, and you got to circle back. And when you're circling back going uphill, man, they're trying to find a spot, man, to park. They're waving people off, and and so it never fails. Every year they would always park right next to at the gas station.
There's gas stations.
And they'd have to wait there, man, and then here we are just kind of looking and like, well, they're going to be looking for somebody if they don't know how to work on that damn car. Hey, you need any help? Yeah, I really do. I don't know what I'm doing with this car. It's like, it's always blowing.
So the roundups was it April 21st?
I don't know. It's in April something.
But yeah, that's always fun. You guys never been there before, right?
No, we never.
No, okay.
been
Really?
around,
Plan on checking it out.
Yeah, it's
we
big.
usually do with the Temple Blumenfest around that.
So they brought it back.
They brought it back.
It's supposed to
So
come back.
it's,
I mean,
It's in April sometime,
It's
huh?
in April.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes, too.
I do remember that. I mean, Taylor used to have a Blumenfest too, I think.
yes. It used to
But
be.
yeah, that's right. So anyway, it's that time of year, right? Car shows and there's
Everything's
something
hitting
going
up.
on there's something going on every weekend, I guess.
So how do you guys pair up, man, when you guys go to the track? What do y'all do to get ready to go to the track? You guys are young. Your truck's obviously serious. Which truck's more serious, yours or just about the same? Yours? Because you got to go based on the faster one that you end up taking the chores, and you're one's gonna be the driver and he's gonna be pissed off because something ain't right, and then you gotta have the guy with the level head that cools it. So I understand how you two probably work. So how does it work? Which car gets more attention?
Obviously the
The temperamental one.
Yeah, that one.
but on this show it's the blue truck.
All right, there we go. So how long? So when y'all go out there, y'all do open trailer, enclosed trailer? What do y'all do, man? What does your dad do?
Mine's an enclosed trailer.
Yeah.
He pulls it down there.
He drives his down.
Yeah,
Blake
I
drives
just
his,
drive, I just
yeah.
drive mine down
Yeah. Does he just watch the show and laugh?
there. Yeah, he watches
Watch
he
Y'all
watches
both
the show
fucking pull
and
hair.
watches the show and pushes the notes.
There you go.
So he drives his, like, you run street, right? You run street, and then you run no box. So I can see where Blake's probably just got to put gas in his truck and just park it,
Yeah.
maybe open the hood, maybe not.
Gotta wash it though.
Yeah, while you shine up, put some slick wax on it, but and just like any
Armor
other.
all on the slick. No.
Help it
But
do a
yeah, so I
burnout.
mean, if I'm sure typically you'd probably just charge your battery. That's probably you got to do, right? If any of that, right? Even do
Always
that.
change plugs and
So
everything fresh. So clean it up.
This dude don't even take his plugs. He's like, nah, I just want to put it back up. Don't turn it on no more. Really? That's what you do? Yeah, mess with it until the next race.
The plugs are in it. They've been in since 17. So I mean, they just still fires up and still runs it. So
Got 2 sets.
yeah, actually, yeah. I had about 20 sets, but I even get the ones that I've had before. I only got 3 passes. Shit, I'll put it back in there. They're still good.
Shit, there be times one time on my car, we went through we're trying to tune a 1050 on the car, and we couldn't get it set right, man. We went through I think 20 sets of plugs, because we kept jacking them up, and it wasn't even that, man. It was a distributor. It was just the one that was acting stupid. But man, we went through so many damn plugs, and fucking my wallet like, fuck. Damn.
Gets expensive.
Yeah.
Man.
Now you just take off and learn you just take off the good one, just leave them alone. Just don't fuck with them.
You go back, like I said, you go back and talk, like when we first started racing, even like in the truck, and let's say 95, right? When it was fun because she didn't fucking do a whole lot of it. It was just fucking, put some high octane in there and fucking go. Just don't even fucking worry about plugs. You were just running and have fun. That was. You didn't worry about nothing, and then you broke something, go to the salvage yard, I'm gonna go buy a 9-inch chunk for $50, boom, we'll get back running again. Shit, that's what you did, you go buy, you go buy a whole block or something, you can buy a whole motor, a transmission, nothing.
Yeah.
That was
They were everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. And then, now you got to get aftermarket this, aftermarket that. Like, oh damn.
Out of y'all, who do y'all have backup transmissions in case one goes? Do y'all carry any spares? Y'all don't carry nothing. If y'all go, y'all done.
We're done.
Damn.
Until it gets fixed, right?
Until it gets fixed.
Yeah. Like I said, that was back, in the '90s. That was fun, man.
Yes, it was.
And you go to street meets back then. They'll start racing at 3, and it was 1, 2 in the morning. I mean, because there was like 200-300, maybe 200 street cars, and they're bracket racing. And we always used to get 4 time trials. 4 time trials.
Damn.
And then they'll go through the rounds, and then shit. If you load your car on the trailer, you're good. Shit.
Yes.
Because it was always And for me, there was that time where I was busting starters all the time. What the fuck, starter? You go, anybody got a starter? You go find somebody got a starter. You're just a GM factory starter shit, and then go to fucking O'Reilly's or car parts and tell you, give me a $40 shit. That's all you needed.
No, get the big block one this time. Not that shit one. You get this remanufactured shit.
The big block one. You'd always get the big block one. If your headers, you weren't fitting that bitch if you had some headers.
Yeah.
It's particularly like in certain cars. So, but anyway, that was the fun thing. You know, you're going to spend a lot of money now. I mean, then you got into aftermarket stuff. Yeah, you're not breaking stuff as much, but you dug in your pocket.
No.
For me, it was always an approximate calculation of how much compression the motor probably will have. You know, it's just they're pop-ups. Well, what are you gonna do? Well, I guess I'll just put some open chambers. It'll lower it to some point, and then you find out with the starter.
Here goes the beautiful thing. You can get a small block starter right down because the evolution of MSD starter retard.
It did, man. But before I bought that shit, I was going through big block starters, right? Pat, and I would know because as soon as it would kind of kick back a little bit, it would break. I'm like, well, gotta go get another one. So here we are, gotta get another one. Finally, like on the fourth one, man, my brother goes, "The fuck you doing, man? Turn off the ignition and just start it with, then light it up." Yeah. So I'm like, "Really?" Tavo said, "Yeah, that's the old school way, man." So I'm like, "Okay." So here I am, At first, I would like retard it, like manually retard my car. And then go advancing back up. And man, people would laugh. It's like, dude, that ain't no street motor, is it? I'm like, yeah, it is a street motor. I just gotta hold on.
That's the way it was funny because in that time, in the '90s, there was you used to get low ET slick street tires. Yeah. And then you would always hear when somebody's gonna make a nitrous pass because you'll see them in the pits and then you hear driving. Man, that car sounds like. Oh, they got it retarded. They're gonna spray it. They're gonna spray it. Yeah. They're gonna spray it. So you knew when somebody was gonna spray it because the way it
starts sounding like shit, right? And you're like, they get to
that was our timing control back then.
That was it.
That was you used to go take it. I'm like, go make a pass, hit nitrous, come back, and put it back for motor. Because like I said, you're trying to make a low ET to get some money for slicks or.
I finally just fucking welded that shit. Tire. Fuck it, man. Just toggle a switch. I don't give a shit if it sounds like shit's gonna just leave it like that.
Yeah. So that was you go back to how easy
it was. So hard back in the day, guys.
No, that's how it was. That's what you did. But then you got.
Today it's just fuel injection. Y'all fuck with it.
Yeah, you ain't got to do nothing now. You just hit a button.
Back then we carried a screwdriver in our back pocket, some feeler gauges and shit. Damn. So
like I said, that was it was fun and easy. But at the end of the day, I we still wouldn't give it up where we're at. Like I said, it's just you got to go with the you got to go with the times. You got to go with the technology and what's there because. That's the benefit.
I like air conditioning. Yeah. I like air conditioning.
That's a big help.
Yeah.
That's always good, man.
It's good.
It's so funny because AC was like, what time about AC back then? We didn't give a shit. We were rolled 90, 100 degrees, windows down, shit.
I'm laughing because right? If I in winter, man, I remember, man, there's no fucking heater, man, and we're out there stupid, still racing at like 40, 30 degrees. So you're wearing a fucking jacket, you got a little beanie on, and you got rain. I had Rain-X for the inside of my window because that shit would start fogging up with my breathing, and you couldn't see shit. So here we are, man, fucking, oh man, it runs better when it's like a 160, So so that was no fucking heater, man. And people, as we got older. Shit, even younger than you, but we're getting old. We're like, dude, you don't have that little Datsun heater box, man? We can bolt up. It won't get in the way. You just hook it. Yeah, when you do, it gets kind of cold. So we kind of, now I need AC, I need heater, and I need a wider fucking seat. And
you cruising around, especially in that old 55. That whole cab is metal. It's 30 degrees outside. Shit, that truck didn't have no heater, man. It was. That's fun. We didn't give a shit. I didn't give a shit.
So you got the full size truck. Mm-hmm. How do you like racing a big truck at the track? Because it ain't like a car.
Everybody got one now.
I like it.
You sit in it, you're like, am I gonna hit the side? Hell no. That thing motherfucker just kind of rocks. They just cruise, right?
Oh yeah, it's just like a big boat going down through there.
you just hold the pedal down, right? And just keep on. And yours is not though. Yours is a little tighter,
a little bit
smaller, kind of swings. Side to side.
It was pretty straight. But
What type of tire do you run?
it's a 31, 18.
That's a big tire.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's still a fun truck.
Yeah.
My jaw drops when Thomas takes his truck. Just the last few times, man, this year that I've watched him, he's working on it, he got it out, and then we're always talking about, he loves his truck to be super clean. He don't know fingerprints, and then he tags the walk. Fuck. Oh wow! Bring him back to the show.
That's what
so
he
Thomas.
said. That's what he said. He said the only thing straight on the truck's the tailgate.
That's what he said.
So they went the whole, hey, but we always keep talking about, hey, this is what it's like. If you want to do street racing, street life, no prep, count on tagging the wall or something's gonna happen. And his truck is so fast, just even a little blip on the throttle might get you out of the groove and you're gone. So
Yeah, Thomas was he was he's he's cleaned all the time. It was like
he's got a backup truck now that he's gonna shine and clean that, right?
Yeah, he's got like 3 or 4 loves, man. I don't know what you about, but
He's in love. He's in love.
but yeah, so yeah, the side swiping, so he don't got a good side. Both sides are,
He's done.
they're he's still going.
Oh yeah, the
But
motor's still.
yeah, he's still rocking. I mean, he ain't gonna slow him down. Like I said, he got a couple other loves.
You haven't had any worries like that, have you? On your truck?
No, not really.
Still good. We got a big tire and it's a small motor, so it doesn't
I
get
mean, it's
too
still
crazy.
fast. I mean, but yeah, it's just
Have you
as
done-
long as you keep it under control. I mean,
Yeah. Have you done no prep or anything like that before, or
No.
tested on the street?
that was my question to you about
have y'all tested?
about how the racing is now. You guys are not even. Are you guys even remotely interested in doing?
No prep or
Well, we was invited to the. Well, Brandon.
That was a prep.
That was a
That
prep.
Top Guns deal.
Yeah, we was invited.
Oh,
to
really?
it. Yeah, Brandon was.
Run that index, but
I'd like to try that no prep and that slow card that they have in my
The
truck.
slow one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty fun.
it's
to try
actually
out.
pretty interesting.
It's interesting.
I think you would enjoy it. Just know that it's no prep and you may run.
All I can say
run
is
and
that
scratch your truck a little bit.
if you know your truck, how
Yeah.
what it's gonna do is that just like how we all say, if you're out of it, get out of it.
Yeah.
Because the people who have the accidents are the ones who always try to get back into it, and that's
Everything's unsettled.
I'm saying probably stuff you already know. Like I said,
Yeah.
because there's that say, like I said, yes, okay, if I'm out of it, I'm gonna get out of it. But it's at the moment to where if you're like right there, like
Yeah.
if you're out of it and you're like, you're gonna win, like what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna get back into it,
Yeah.
right? That's just reaction.
more
That's just normal.
Yeah.
So it's always easier said than done. So I mean, I
You
say
gotta
that
know
to-
your car really
yeah, I say,
well
if you know
to
your
get
car,
back
like I
in
said,
it.
man, I'm gonna lay into it and it's gonna straighten out.
Yeah.
Because the factor is the no prep,
Yeah.
particularly on that asphalt. Your truck can react totally different
Yeah.
than like it would if it got out of groove on a prep surface. Because if you get it like on a prep surface, then your truck may, ooh, okay, I'm gonna hook
Yeah.
back up and let's go. But when you're on the no prep land, it's a different ball game. So, which it will be fun. Like I said, it is a fun event. Like I said, you might like it. I mean, and your truck might like it. You don't
Yeah.
know. So, and it's all about the tire, man. Air pressure, all that stuff. It's all different.
If y'all have heard our prior shows, we talk about how
Yeah.
these guys run their front suspension setup.
Yes.
It's really it's not new. It's back in the day I used to do it, and that's just because you learn to feel your car. It doesn't matter how fast the car is. You just when you feel your car and you know how it reacts, you know how it transfers its weight. And for me back then, when less horsepower, the more weight you could distribute to the back, and then the more horsepower, hey, you don't want that much because now you're really lifting too much, and so that's what these guys are doing basically on the street. They got a lot of power, and they basically know that
They got a lot of front end travel.
a lot of front end travel because the back end's not going to hook up, and so the easiest way to go down, and it's an 1/8 mile, so they can just hang the car and put all that weight on that back tire. So literally, they're kind of like almost steering with the back tire is what it looks like.
If you see those cars that the fast cars, they're what they call like that Carolina squat truck.
Yeah.
Their ass, their front's up,
Yes.
ass down. They're going.
Yeah.
On for like us, and I say it is that when that front end's up, how the hell are the tires? How are you controlling the
There's
car?
hardly any control.
But
barely
they got to figure it out. It's all in the shocks. That's what it
Yeah.
comes down to, and how they got their ballast in their ass, and how they got the front. And there's a lot of signs. It's just like you're not going to go out and it's going to take testing, because all those guys that are kicking ass out there, they test. They
Oh, man.
I mean, they're making passes.
Full-time job, man. It's like a full.
They
What are
do
you
that.
doing? Oh, we're gonna test today.
Yeah, they're doing like 2 or 3 times
It's
a
Tuesday,
week.
it's Wednesday, it's Thursday.
So,
It's Wednesday.
like,
But if you're going to race tomorrow in the morning, yeah, test.
fuck, I'm sleeping.
Fuck.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But,
that's what they do.
So what do you think about that kind of racing?
Yeah.
I mean, just
Obviously, we talked all kinds of
Yeah, we
crap
talked
about
about
it
it.
right
Yeah,
now.
I
And you see it, you know it,
yeah,
right?
We've seen it,
Yeah.
watched it. I don't know. I just we done so much work, to set it up to run
To where it run thing, yeah.
index
Yeah,
bracket,
yeah.
And
I'm with you.
And then again, when they got the classes, the 650 classes or something
Yeah.
like that to race,
That could be
we've tried, but
Yeah.
my heavy foot partner over here.
Break out a little bit too.
Yeah, we
Can't
tried.
slow it down enough.
So this,
It's a little hard to slow it down.
but
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, that's, but the feel is like I said, you're not opposed to it, because you guys are running, right? I mean, if it comes down to it, but like I said, it's always the willing, or the time, I guess you could say. Like I said, there's always, there's always something going on.
Do you guys disclose time or no on y'all's cars? Or y'all just leave it a mystery? You want to know? Come race.
No, I mean, we run brackets. So
Yeah, so
there's
you gotta
really
put it
no
on your window,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
always
okay.
on the window. So
Now, isn't Big Sleepy? You can't have a time.
Yeah, so that's the thing about Big Sleepy.
Tell you there's a
and,
lot.
and so
Yeah.
the index, it doesn't matter. I
Right.
mean, index, because you can go run,
yeah,
I think they just got a 607 though.
607.
So they got a 607 though.
yes,
So that's whatever, right? So you got to know you can run. But like for like if you want to run like the Top Gun or Little Hitter stuff, you can't turn a time board on for like 2 years. So basically that's part of the criteria, is that if you want to run, you cannot have shown your time in 2 years.
yeah.
So it's just they keep it with, they say that they police it, so they know. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's an invitation. So they say, okay, I know that you haven't turned the clocks on, and I know I guess they know semi-quasi this is where you're at. So they're okay, you're gonna run this class. So they want to keep it, kind of a tight
And he
race.
just said on his last one, "Hey, go Top Gun. If you go too fast, get
Yeah,
out."
so
Go to
that's
the
what I'm saying. So-
Little Hitters. I don't know what the fuck he said.
and
You don't belong to that one.
And that's the thing, to me, it seems like they're kind of controlling the thing,
Yeah.
in which they are,
Yeah.
because like I said, they're trying to put people in certain categories to where they're not running away with it, and then it's the same person winning that class.
Right.
So they're making it, competitive to where anybody can win. But so it's interesting. So it's either that local, or you go up to run XRP, where everybody comes to run index 7060. They got a class for everything. So
Shoot, the nice
shout out
cars are
to,
just nice, man.
Michael Hollis, by the way.
Paint
So
jobs.
Michael Hollis,
Yeah.
Texas Roundup, it's a radio race, and he's got Friday and Saturday, there's like freaking 10 classes between those 2 days. So he always puts on a great event. He's been running it for a while. He's done Doomsday, which was ran at Denton. That was a no prep thing in the 5 years ago. It was Doomsday, but then he's always been a radio class racer. So he's got the Texas Radio Roundup going on this weekend in Ennis. So shout out to that. So, but on top of that, like I said, if you don't have the pockets, the deep pockets to go run that shit, then Kenneth and them are doing this for
Shallow pockets.
Yeah. The Burger King workers, we got the free sponsorship.
That
want my burger.
that's
Yeah.
nailed it, right? So that's what it is. And so, but at the end of the day, like I said, it comes down to getting where you fit in. And like shout out to Little River. Like Little River's been doing something every week here.
Right.
And I'll be honest, I hope that there's no reason why there's something that should be going on every week there. To me,
Yes.
right? There shouldn't be nothing idle
it's
there.
going good right now.
Bracket always. There's you got to do a bracket. 2 times a month. But those weekends when they're not a bracket, there's something. There should be something going on. I mean, something. And I'm sure Tamayo, Top End, they're going to be doing stuff once a month. I guess I would imagine. and then
They
Sleepy.
got flyers. I mean,
So
popping up.
Sleepy's got the race April 8th, and then they got the June whatever race at Little River. It's not the picnic, but it's the actual Little Hitters official. And then when you run that, then you get, I guess you get qualified, or you're able to get selected to run the picnic, and then that's the one in September. That's the picnic. So, have you guys ran Big Sleepy stuff before?
I don't know if
Didn't
we
have
have.
run one of the index.
I think it was back when it was like 650 index when he first had it.
Because he's been doing stuff for 5 years. Maybe.
Go-to guy.
I thought we
that's
ran
fine.
one before.
I'm sure
it
I
was
have.
the index. Yeah.
'Cause I know we ran the 55 there one time. We did the 650 or the 620. He had a 620 one time, I think it was. I don't remember. But anyway, so it's been a while, but like I said, there's always good stuff going on. So, shout out to that. He's keeping it real, keeping it local. 512. They're 254. So
254. Damn it! Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute.
We done this whole show.
Give me
they're
your
close
phone.
enough. So if you go to Bartlett,
I
like
get
Main
scam
Street-
calls from
so,
254.
so Bartlett Main Street. One side is Williams County, one side is like literally Bell County.
County.
So they're borderline. So they're good.
Yeah.
So anyway, the purpose of this show, like I said, is just to get racers. I don't give a shit who you are, where you're from, right? It don't matter. So it's just a matter of getting the racers, getting people familiar that are not familiar with you, that don't know Bell Racing, Bartlett, Texas, right? So we got a semi-good audience. So it's just a
We
matter.
have about 4 people.
Yeah, so-
listen to us.
Yeah, I think it's 3 1/4. Anyway, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, but at the end of the day, it's like just come down, talk racing. Let's talk. The future of racing.
Right here.
You guys are
Central
deep
Texas.
into it. Car shows. Anything automotive related, right? Car related. That's what it.
See, the main
what
thing
based
is drag racing. It's not like NASCAR, man, and it's not like you just can't turn on the TV and see it like on Sundays, like Saturdays, and especially in the local area. There should be some kind of public access where you can always see the drag strips, or you can watch past events. None of that goes on. You can't really find anybody unless you know who they are on Facebook land, and so you can't always put the car with the face.
Exactly.
And most of these racers, they'd love for the audience that goes to the drag strips to know who they are. Obviously, you wouldn't be putting graphics on your car or lettering it up or whatever if you didn't want your car to be shown. So that's why we said, hey, why don't we just bring, whether you have a shop or whether you have a car show, or if you're a racing team, mom and pop, let's bring them on so everybody can put the face to the car, so that when you guys go to the track, people can admire your cars and say, I remember those guys. Those guys are cool. You know what I mean? I remember hearing about them, and without that, you go to the track and it's a cool car. They'll never remember your face. They'll never know who you are. But with this show, it's been kind of putting the face to the car, and so now when people go to these new events that pop up, I can tell you, I know who's who. Prior to this, I didn't know who the hell was driving, a blue Mustang with the turbo. I had no idea who that dude was, but I know you now.
Paul always had the insight of like the vintage, the history of like the old drag strips, right? That you had more of that audience. I bought in like the guys from the drag racing street.
He did.
So like I said, he's got a knack, and he's got knowledge on like the history.
I know what brought
racing.
everybody together here
in Austin area.
I know how it started. I kind of, like I said, like right now, you can't put the face to the car. And back when I was doing street racing and stuff, I would meet, this is my dad, or this is my grandpa. My grandpa used to race back. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. You got pictures? No.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah, right, back in the day, then you meet somebody else, and you're like, hey, there's this guy who's a legend back in the 60s or something, that used to race here, oh, I knew that guy. Who the hell was that guy? And so little by little, I finally said, you know what, I'm just going to start asking for photos. And then one day, and the internet wasn't even coming around, and so I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to see if I can put something together so that everybody can look back in a timeline from whenever, because California, you could see when drag racing started, they have all these associations back there, and they're all on a website. They've been doing this from 1955, and and there's all these cool shows on cable TV that you can watch on, guy from Hot Rod Magazine, but you never heard shit from Texas. Not one dude from Texas. I'm like, dude, there's got to be something going on in Texas. It couldn't just be California. So I put everything together. It took me a long time, but I finally figured out, hey, I know who's dad and dad. And so when these guys come on the show now, hey, my dad used to be, back with those guys. And so now we could put it with the photo. And so that's where I came in. And that was just kind of like a hobby for me. And I put it on the internet. I met him, and he's like, well, I know all the guys from the track, and I said, well, I know the guys from street racing from back in the day. I know from prior, I know what happened, and I can bring those old dudes on here because I know them. I've met them before, and some of these guys are dying, dude. And so
if you ever come to the show, there's some guys that originally from the street. There's Greg Wright and there's Tovar, some of these other guys. So those guys were originated from like Austin, Decker Lane,
from your area, there, how you always hear the Yenko Camaros, the Yenko, ball and motion stuff. Temple had a dealership back in the day where they would order these special order cars, and there was called I can't remember what the guy's name was, but he would go to Temple and he'd race a '57 Chevy, and his dealership was also selling special production Chevelles with souped up motors and all that stuff. Nobody knew about that. So when somebody would find a car and you'd go onto one of the websites where the registry, hey, I found this car. It came from Texas, and it says the dealership out of Temple. And I'm like, damn, I got to look into it. And finally, some guys come up and they're like, hey, I bought a car from there. It's a special order Chevelle, or I bought a car from it's a special order '67 Camaro. And where'd you race? Little River. That's all I ever took my car. It's a race car. I bought it like that. Yeah. So for a lot of people here in the central area, they don't know. A lot of people don't know that there was actually a dealership. And I actually found a truck just by a pure accident. A friend of mine had it, and it was a special order 454 73 truck. And it had a 12 bolt. It had an order 454 in it. It was all custom tailored out of that shop. And I was like, damn, this is a badass freaking truck. It came from that guy. But anyway, that's what popped up out of y'all's area. And
who was
there's a bunch of race cars out there.
Who did y'all's machine work back there? So there's Ernie Cook.
No, I didn't do mine.
Okay, but in that area. So
yeah, he was the machine work.
Share. Do you know a little bit of his past? I know he's had some history. Yeah.
No, never. I had no dealings with
okay,
Ernie.
But you know, like some of the history, like
back in the day, I met two friends. It was R&S Garage in Temple, Glenn Robbie.
Okay.
And Eddie Severson. Do you remember them? They used to run the homegrown Camaro.
Homegrown.
That's it. I've seen that.
Yeah. And Glenn Robbie and me became friends.
Okay.
And I mean. That's back when I lived in Temple, and then so he knew a guy named Andy, worked had a machine shop over there by Wilson Art.
Gotcha.
And he was the guy that
did all your
everybody took
you to the machine work. Yeah. Okay.
So
Gotcha.
And that's kind of how fed on to this and started listening to what they did.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they were two old racers.
Old school.
They ran together as the Glenn's. It used to be Glenn's Garage in Weldon.
Gotcha.
But at the time, it was R&S Garage in Temple, Rabel and Severson, and they ran the homegrown car.
Yeah, I do remember that car because that was the one you seen on Sundays. That was that car Sunday racing. Yeah.
And one thing about Little River, how we've been talking about the Big Sleepy races. Big Sleepy and his dad, they've been around a long time, and a lot of the races that have been put on at Little River, a lot. I mean, it goes back to his dad,
of course,
putting on races in the 50s and in the 60s. So Little River isn't just about who races today. The guy who's still putting on races is that guy's son today.
Yeah.
And that's who you hear, all this Top Gun and all that stuff. So big shout out to that guy. Much respect for still carrying on the tradition.
Yeah.
And so that's why Little River has had this place in history, in your area, because it brought a lot of the the 512 together to run out there, and I guess it kind of gets lost after a while. So we always put in a little plug-in in our podcast to let people know that this is where it's at all the time, and there's always going to be something you walked into at some point and not realize it until you see photos, and you're going to be like, oh shit, I remember hearing about that guy or whatever. But yeah, everybody cuts their teeth at Little River. That's what you've done, and you guys now are doing it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's got big history. It's been there forever. We've all been there, grown up there. We have all, so yeah, it's got a big history, just with everybody. And plus, like I said, it's for me, or for us, it's what 10 minutes from your house. Example, 10 minutes from your house.
Wow, you just wake up, roll over,
it's
man.
like 25 minutes from me, right? So I mean, it's in our backyard.
Yeah.
So, we've all grown there. We've taken our kids there. So yeah, it's got a lot of history.
What do y'all plan doing in the future as y'all get older with y'all's cars? What do y'all have as far as drag race? Is it just a hobby? Do you plan on building something better, bigger, faster?
Man, I don't know. I mean, didn't think it'd be where it is now,
Right.
So I mean, we're always steadily trying to, always want it to be consistent, as far as my truck, anyways. Once you start, well, I'm gonna, put a bigger set of heads, or I'm gonna do this.
Upgrade.
It just steadily upgrades throughout the years, so I don't know. I'm sure it'll be quicker, maybe in the future. I don't know how quick, but didn't know it'd be here where it's at now.
Same thing with crayon.
Crayon.
C10.
Crayon. That's what he calls it. Crayon. So yeah. I mean, upgrades. You gonna continue racing it? Do you ever see for yourself? You see yourself in the future getting something lighter, something smaller?
I mean, it'd be nice to get something lighter, but at the time, I just
not right now.
I mean, I just like where it's at right now. Just get in and drive it wherever you want to go. And
How fast you been in that truck already?
right now we got it to 1250s in a quarter.
Nice.
So.
And it's a heavy truck. So
Yeah, it's heavy.
Well, that truck was brought in from a field.
Yeah.
And,
We found it in a field.
And he's all bit of his money. He's restored it himself. And so I mean, whatever he's done. So I mean, it's.
That's so you get to drive it, put gas in it, rock and roll, go play with it.
He
Found
does
it.
race it. He drives it down and drives it back. So that makes a lot to a racer.
And how old are you now? 20?
23.
How does that affect your PlayStation skills, man?
Never had one.
There you go.
I know the era, man. It's changed. You got a controller, and then you got I'll play with my hot rod later, and then you're back to the fucking game,
They say there's no skill. You never got those skills, right?
Can't have skills if you don't have one. You know what I mean?
So you avoided that, helped avoid that shit, right?
That's it. So you see you getting something else? This is the last car you're getting done?
Yeah, I mean, we built it together. All three of us built it together, and figured. It started out, we was actually going to race it. My motor that was in there is in Blake's truck now, the bottom end.
Yeah.
But to put a blower on the street, to ride around, it's just something about that look,
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, so you're keeping that car. Don't plan on seeing no changes. It's there. It's done, right? So. And like I said, you can drive around, go to car shows.
Shows is fun. I mean,
sometimes car shows can be just as much work going to the racetrack.
It is.
In some cases. Sometimes. I mean, you still got to clean it, you got to maintain it, put maintenance.
You ever waxed a car and it's about 8:30 at night and you think you did a good job and then you wake up?
Yeah, like, damn, I missed the spot.
Fuck, all this shit is still on it, Start over again, now you're running late. Where's all these white spots? See, you missed, man.
Yeah.
And then you get in a fight with your brother, right?
I'm at your side.
Man, right? Yeah, the wheels, right? Didn't you punch that shit? What the hell?
My side's good.
Playing video games again. But no, I like Thomas, man. He wants a clean car. I love a clean car. If your car don't look good at the track, why the hell are you gonna take that dirty ass with mud? Like you've been slinging mud. Is it a mud truck or is it a race car? But when you go to a car show, man, you really get to find out how bad your car looks compared to another guy next to you. Because there's gonna be a guy who has a faster car and it's cleaner, and you're like, damn. Why didn't I spend more attention to detail. So I like going to the car shows just to check out.
I mean, like I said, car shows can be just as hard work as going to the track.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm with you, like I said. So, but it's fun. They're fun. Like I said, as long as you get to hang around, spend some time. Going to car shows is like it's like a release.
Yeah.
Get away from or even going to the track. It's like a little release from your daily grind. Okay, I'm gonna relax, but I'm still having fun, right? So.
My only problem is that once you floored it and you get down to A to B, and then you come back around and then you do it again, you're like, it needs to go faster. And I need to go quicker. This is not, And then now you go home and you're like looking at your wallet and the internet and Summit Racing, and you're like, damn, what can I upgrade? It never ends, right?
Texting Jay Baker, hey Jay Crayon needs to come in next week.
Hey, you got that Burger King overtime.
Midnight.
Yeah. I'll be over there in a little bit.
Holy shit. I need to drop it off.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, that's probably a true story too.
Yeah.
So.
Look at him. He's working directly for Holly. What else you got?
Oh, yeah, I get. So that's a whole different story there. But that's the only reason why I'm working there, just so I can get some discounts.
Yeah. There's an addiction going on here, man. That's why we sit here and talk.
But yeah, so with all that being said, like I said, we could probably go on for another hour or so, but I do appreciate you guys coming in, and it's fun. And anything you guys want to plug, anybody that you can think of?
You have a shop,
you got somebody you want to
personal
give
business
a shout
you
out
got?
to? Somebody does some any work on your motors or whatever? Shout out to anybody.
Yeah, I like to shout out Neil at the car shop.
There you go. Neil,
He helped us big time with helping putting that sniper on, and Terry Butler for
machining.
Machine working.
There you go. So
sponsors, by Jay Baker. He sponsors crayons. You know what I mean?
Jay's doing good because he's seen throwing money everywhere. So he knows he's doing right. So I didn't mean that, by the way. Any shout out? Anybody you want to give a thanks to?
Your t-shirt guy.
There we go. T-shirt guy next to us.
I know that guy. Yeah.
Well, we didn't know until we walked in the door. Are we Ken?
I was like, you know who that is, right?
Yeah. I don't. I never tell anybody what I do. I walked up to y'all, I think in November. And I walked right in, y'all, took photos of the car, and right there, and walked right back away. Man, I went back to Santa's, crew, started hanging out. What are you doing over there? I went to go take some photos, and nobody ever knows who I am, and I don't really tell anybody when I'm walking around. And so I take the photos and I post them. They're like, damn. He was right there next to me. I was like, yeah, I'm the guy who drew your shirt. I was like, hey, buddy, remember that? That was me,
So good shout. So shout out to Paul. So anyway, so
thanks, man.
Again, appreciate it coming out. Like I said, anybody you can think of that might would be have fun guests. We can have anybody in. We've had some guys scheduled from the beginning of the year to now, and there's been some reschedules. Like I said, this took a little time to get this set up, so we had some off time, but we're getting people scheduled back in, and once you get those schedules, and there's some reschedules that happen and whatnot. So anyway,
right, it's not always easy for everybody to make a walk in and do a sit down, especially in the middle of the week. So I appreciate you guys.
I appreciate it. Like I said, so I know we talked about it, but I appreciate you making the time, getting over here. You were out of town, late because of you. It's all good. No, it all worked out. It all worked out for everybody. So, like I said, last week I was busy anyway. So, but moving forward, be on the lookout for this episode. It'll probably be in a couple weeks, maybe Monday. We'll see. But again,
last but not least, Oscar's Garage, April 15th in Taylor, Texas. The swap meet and vintage bicycle show. It's going to be a great swap meet. We've got all things lowrider. You can find him on Instagram, ATL. He's going to have his swap meet items and his bikes that he builds. I think he sells a few of them. They're really nice bikes. He'll be there along with another BMXer from Taylor. What's his name? Coy
Belusi.
He's going to bring some real nice 80s freestyle bikes that he's got out of it's our show and shine that we're gonna put on. So we're gonna have some nice display. I built a lowrider bike just to show it off. I'm trying not to show Gilbert the bike.
He'll want it.
He'll want it. That's my one of my in-law, and so it's gonna be a good little hangout. So if you guys go up there, again, there is no charge for you to set up your little space. You know, like a 10 by 10 or something like that. Just got to get there early, 7 a.m. Because there's no telling. Sometimes there's a lot of people that bring their stuff. They come from, like I said, sometimes Waco, Temple, San Antonio, and
You gotta, just depending on the weather.
yeah,
too,
cars come in on trailers, man, and we'll park them on the side. There's always something cool. Like I said, I saw a set of magnesium wheels last time that I was probably looking at like $10,000 right there in front of me. Just those old NHRA dudes. I was touching them like, oh yeah, look magnesium. I'm not touching that no more. They chip, man. I don't know. But there's always something really cool that you guys will probably like in there. So if y'all plan on hanging out, that's where I'll be.
Okay.
And shit, man. Whenever you guys want to come back, we're always ready to.
Yeah, let us know. Bring some, bring some
Even
some
to
other
a
guys.
show, man, a hangout show, the Round Rock show. You guys let me know you're gonna be in. I'll take off out there and I'll tell my boys to bring their Trans Am and the Camaro. I won't let them drive it yet, but they'll take the Trans Am and they can hang out with you guys.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
All right, guys. Well, hey, appreciate it. Y'all be safe. Until next time, guys. Catch you later. We out.
Bye.
Peace.